All right, hey there, Jeff. I'm back. This time with a non-contest entry. I wanted to. I have one new album that came in today. I wanted to show. Came in today. Now this has been out for months. I just never got around to buying it, and finally got around to buying it because I was communicating with the band. They released some recent new music, just digitally. So I wanted to go ahead and grab this before it disappeared. But Disciple. Love Letter Kill Shot. Now, Disciple has been around for, golly jeepers, like 20 years now. They were a young band at the time. I would say, they're more of a modern hard rock, borderline. I think there at times they cross into more of a metallic sound. I don't want to call them I don't want to say anything like metalcore or anything. They're not that kind of heavy, but they're like modern. I don't know. What would you classify like the heavier edge of like Skillet? They are a Christian band. Their albums, they've done some albums which are more commercial, and then they've done some albums that are a little more aggressive. So they're a mixture of just a hard rock. Let's just call them hard rock, but kind of a modern, edgy hard rock. So. This album came out, I think, 2019. I have the digital tracks. I've had that for a while. It's on Totally Clear. It is available in red also, and I missed out on that, so I grabbed the clear, or at least I saw the red somewhere. But I've been a fan of theirs since their first album, way back in the 90s. And so, they're in your face, and like I said, they go from mellow to hard. So it's a band that I've really enjoyed over the years. This is their newest. And it's got some killer tunes on here. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. Just look up Disciple, and then you can go to Love Letter Kill Shot or whatever. Just they've got a lot of videos out there. But check them out. They're going to be like a modern hard rock kind of aggressive stuff. Anyway, that's the only thing that came in new real recently, and that's all I got to show for that. But back when I did a couple videos ago, I did the room tour video and had shown some of the books on my shelf and mentioned that I do book covers, some artwork for that. And somebody said, hey, you should show some of your book covers, which is interesting. My graphic updates. I know like Scott Waters does graphic updates, but of course it's graphic for albums, so it kind of fits into the music community. But anyway, it's funny because after I did that and after that comment was made, literally like a day or two later, I got a new shipment of books in from the author publishing people that I do artwork for. So it's almost like it was a sign. Hey, let's show the new books that came in rather than the old ones per se. Basically, self-published author is I do stuff for I've always done stuff for mom and pop type businesses. So it's not like I work for some publishing house. It's not like I'm making big bucks. I'm kind of doing this more of ministry. These are they're theological books, Christian books, and so I get minimal pay, just kind of sort of ministry, sort of a little bit for my effort, and they're mainly the same author, and then he also publishes some other authors under his publishing company name, which is what you'll see. I'll run through these real quick. I mean, if you totally, and then I got a question for you after this, but if you totally zoom out at this point, then I whatever. But you'll miss the question after this. Not that it's a major question, but it's a question on future direction. Anyway, real quick. This is the most recent one that I did. What it is I do the books and then send him the covers. We put them on the Amazon. What's Kindle now? It used to be Create Space. Got to go through all the jump through all the hoops of them getting it right and making them happy, and then the test pressing comes out, and then he approves it, and then they print the books, and then eventually, after a couple books are done, I say, hey, send me a copy, which is kind of part of the perks of doing the covers, is I get a copy of the book. So what happens is 3 or 4 books go by, and then I kind of hit him up and say, okay, hey, I'm going to get the books from you. Most of these books, though, have been in this year. So sometimes it used to be like I do a book a year for him, but I've done five or so this year. So these are all fairly fresh. This is the most recent one I did, so the book is already out. But anyway, it's called Paul on Trial. It's just got a statue of Paul the Apostle, and then it's got some This was kind of an easy one. It's got some, you can't really see the details, but it's got a little overlay on it that's got weird light effects and stuff. So anyway, that's the most recent. This one, I asked him about it because it came out, it's a flat cover. Even this one's kind of a flat, and this is flat, and so it made the cover come out darker, so it lost a lot of detail from what the original artwork was. It's called Waiting for the Parousia. Anyway, down here you can sort of kind of see it, but there's a picture of the old temple in Jerusalem. I went ahead and brightened it up and kind of brightened up the cover a little, but I don't know, I probably should upload it again for future presses. So but it's got a guy looking up, waiting for the Parousia. Anyway, if you don't know what that word means, look it up. This is one of the ones that's by a different author, The Case for the Second Coming of Christ. I put a lot of symbolism type stuff in my books. Sometimes people don't always get what that means. The author kind of does. You can kind of see here, there's kind of a figure, a Christ-like figure on the clouds. Down here you got the tree of life with fruit and stuff on it, and kind of a paradise scene. So it's got a lot of symbolism there. It's the case. It's kind of a courtroom thing. So he had me put an anvil, there, gavel, not an anvil. Anvil's a band. Gavel for that. This one is what I like. This one is the glossy one, and you can see that the darker things just pop better. The Gospel of Destruction. It's shiny, but I just like the way the darker colors, pop on there. It's nothing really major on the backs of these. And that's a real simple one. That was just a kind of a flame. And then this one is also glossy, and I really like the way it came out. It's called Maranatha. So anyway, that is the most recent books that will have to find space on my shelf now because I've already got so many books up there. I'm going to have to shift some things around. Now the question for you. I know some of the people that I follow in here, they do music and a lot of other things. Now I've mainly just been doing music. Things music related, records, vinyl, CD, all that stuff. Now, touching on books, and it's going to be few and far between. It's not like I'm going to do a lot of books. I have thought about an idea of doing some book reviews, or not really book reviews, but I'll cover that later. If you're interested in anything, books, not like I'm going to sit down and read a book to you, but I had the idea, for instance, of some of these rock books I've got, reading some excerpts from them and just kind of discussing, the things I learned or something like that. I don't know. It almost sounds like it might be too much work. But would you be interested on something like that? That's an idea. But the question I had, is we've been, shifting some things around in the house as I've been moving music out of here and putting it into a guest room. When one of our kids moved out, we have an extra room. Been moving things around. I'm thinking of going into my closet, and in the back of my closet in my master bedroom, kind of in boxes and shoved back to the back, are all of my old comic books. Now, I haven't really been collecting comic books since the early 80s, but I have in the past 10 or 15 years bought some new ones, but I'm not an avid collector now. So I have a collection of hundreds and hundreds that are going to be 70s and 80s. They're not in super great condition, but I see a lot of people showing their comic books. I still love comics. I still love Marvel. I'm more of a Marvel person. If I drug them out, would you be interested in seeing them occasionally? I'm not going to turn into a comic book channel, but occasional comic video, would you totally thumbs down it and give me bad ratings, or would you be okay with the occasional? I know, Farley's Nerd Cave and stuff, he's got comics, and some other people. The Gray Man does comics. So, they're like, hey, I do what I want to do, and people watch or they don't. I just don't want to turn anybody off and make them hate my channel. So, anyway, what do you think? Comics? Yeah? No? Comics? Maybe occasional books? Maybe? Yeah? Let me know in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Don't give me a thumbs down. Let me know, and I will see you later. Rock on.